When I created this podcast, it was just to have stories, all kinds of interesting stories. And tonight we're breaking it down to that bare metal. We got a couple of good guests on talking about Sasquatch experiences, paranormal experiences. And I got Squatch and Holler says I'm everywhere. Hell yeah, I'm bouncing around, buddy, moving a shaker. We got two guests coming on. We got one right now, one having a little bit of technical difficulties, but if they don't come on, I'm sure I can make a conversation happen with me and the one I have on, because he is a very interesting fella already. Had to stop him from before the show to exposing all the fun stuff. Very good time. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caffeinated Cryptid podcast. I am your host, Bobby Dizzle. This podcast is a caffeinated adventure through the world of Bigfoot, cryptids, and all aspects of the paranormal. And I'll even toss in some science because I like talking dinosaurs. Before we get started, what's everybody drinking? Again, I have a Monster because we have a Sam's Club membership, and I'm a low-key crackhead. But enough about my addiction to monsters. The show airs live on YouTube Sundays and Thursdays. Booked solid for months with killer guests, so keep checking in, and please subscribe. I'm on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all kinds of other apps. Check at bobbydizzle.com to find that. Now let's get to Wendell and hopefully Holly Stutzman from Ohio. Wendell is from Alabama. What's going on, Wendell? We've talked a lot already, and I was worried we are going to just blow the whole mess before it even started, so I had to pull the string.
We can go over it again since nobody else heard it.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about that part. We got Squatch and Holler. He's in the chat. He's following me on my other show, or the other show I was on a while ago. I'll go ahead and since Wendell has tons of visual aids. He's just down the road in Anniston, Alabama, in the wonderful, beautiful Calhoun County, home of Rick Burgess. And I'm going to put on Wendell's pictures he sent me. They're very cool. And where are we at here? Hopefully no one Facebook messaged me. Here is I'm going to start. Where do you want to start? The little footprint or the big footprint?
Let's start with the big one, then we'll do the little one.
Is this the big one here?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. What happened there?
Well, I was going up to check my trail camera, and I just found it there on the side of the driveway. And I thought it was interesting, and I took the pictures, and I posted it on Facebook. I said, what do y'all see? I didn't say it was a footprint. I didn't say it wasn't or anything about it. I just said, what do you see? And other folks come on, started saying Bigfoot. I said, okay. That's what I thought too. And then I walked up a little bit further and found the small footprints.
Let me go to the small one there. Is that it there? That's a small one?
Yeah. And if you can see if you zoom in on the footprint, you see it's dug in where it leaped in right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the other picture where it shows where it was leaping into.
In the bushes.
Yes. And that footprint was no longer than 6 inches long, like a small child's footprint. And I knew there was no small children in my neighborhood out there, let alone
diving into the woods.
Jumping into the woods. So the only thing I can conclude is that was the baby of the big one.
That is awful thick.
Yeah. I couldn't go down through there without a machete.
Mm-hmm. And that's the edge of the road, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right at the edge. That's where after it rains, the softer stuff settles, and it made its footprint in there.
This picture looks like you're down way south, farther south in Alabama than Anniston.
That
looks like Dothan.
I say that's up in Heflin, actually.
Yeah, that looks like it's like nearly to below Montgomery, the way that sand is.
Yeah, that's just where it washed off the driveway and piled up over there on the sideline.
Is that the only experience you've had with them?
With the Bigfoots, yes, it is. But I heard a report from the BFRO that there was a sighting down at the next exit, down there at the 210, by somebody that was going to their family's house one evening, and seen one cross the road down there.
There's a ton in the state. If you go to BFRO, the one in Huntsville takes place behind the Rocket Center.
Yeah,
Which I was like, whoa, right behind the Marriott. Must have been a career day. Well, that's your foot there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's my foot showing the size of that one beside me. And that.
Here we go. Here's this one. I'm going to get to that one next.
Yeah, that was caught on my trail cam. I got no idea what it is or where it came from. I had 3 other pictures. They've mysteriously disappeared. So I don't understand that.
Were they on an SD card or something that disappeared?
No, this was on the hard drive, and I downloaded them on Facebook. And they're gone off the computer. They're gone off of Facebook.
It's a telltale sign. It's their calling card. Wiping data off things. Why is it the last 3 shows I've been on have had game camera pictures of a hand?
I have no idea. Well, I guess because when they turn the camera on, it's their hands in front of it.
And there's this from DeKalb County. That's let me look at it, because I'm like, I love game cameras. I thought I probably like catching pictures of deer than shooting them, because I got a couple game cameras myself.
Yeah,
that's I mean, honestly, it could be anything. I'm not going to go straight to Bigfoot with it. It could be a moth.
Either. I don't know what it is.
It could be a moth for all we know. But the weird little the lobe look of it right there is crazy.
Yeah,
that's what gets me.
That could be an eye or a mouth, depending on which way you turn your head. If you look at it sideways this way, I see a slanted eye with a big mouth. Or if I look this way, it's a big eye with a slanted nostril or something.
Yeah. It looks like it did get a focus on whatever that is, like some kind of epidermis. I can't tell. I'm not even going to try to. I have to sit there and look at it for an hour.
Yeah.
But it looks like that. That's what it looks like. I put my wedding ring on there for Roger. Roger, who's watching. He's all about the wedding rings and the game cameras. Yeah, then there's the mountain lion from DeKalb County for all you DeKalb County folks watching.
Yeah.
Or DeKalb, as they call it.
Yeah.
DeKalb.
If you notice, he's actually got a deer right there in front of it.
Mm-hmm. I hope it was a deer and not a person.
Yeah. Well,
I saw that earlier. I'm like, what is that?
I think it's a deer.
It could be. You were referencing earlier those haunted house stories. It could be that.
Yeah, well, could be. Never know.
This is arrowheads. See if any of them are Russell Cave points.
I don't know what points they are. I just found them in my driveway up there at Heflin.
I swear it sounds like we live in the same place. Sounds like we live in the exact same place.
Yeah.
Which
well, it's not really that far apart.
Heflin's not.
No.
Let's talk about this haunted house story you dropped on me earlier. Out of nowhere.
The one where my cousin left us sitting.
Yeah, we'll start with that one. I know you had a couple of them you were going on.
Yeah. Back when I was real young, we moved into a house in Smyrna, Georgia, about 3-4 houses up from my stepfather's aunt and uncle. And cousin came up there one night, and we got up the next morning. He was gone. I left the doors open, TV on. Finally got it hooked to him and asked him what happened. He said that I was sitting there watching TV. I heard this baby crying. And he thought somebody was just walking by with a screaming baby. Then he heard the refrigerator door open and close. And then this guy with a blue suit coming, walking out of the kitchen, sat down beside of him, and he could see through him. And the next morning, he wasn't there.
He left. The fact that he rationalized it as just somebody walking by with a crying baby at 10:30 at night is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like, was it on like a street or something?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
the street we lived on was a dead end street, and there's a neighbor across the street had already told us that our house was supposed to be haunted, but we never seen nothing. And he told us the story of the lady shooting her husband, and another young family on drugs supposedly buried the baby alive outside the back window.
Good God, I can't. That's got Sling Blade energy.
Yeah,
no bigger than a squirrel.
But when we moved in up there at Heflin, we bought a used mobile home, brought it up there, and we could smell them cooking. And had some really great smells. If their food would taste as good as it smelled, I'd have enjoyed it. But I never did get to try none.
That's really, you told me that story. I'm bringing, a lot of time goes by between the time I schedule guests and have them on. So I think of things. When you told me that, I can only be two things. Like, was it in the woods, like in a rural area, obviously?
Well, I think it had to be with the property because in 2006, we bought a double wide trailer and brought it up there, and it was still there.
And what if it was like an old home place or something?
The closest place I can find is about a quarter of a mile over further in the woods where there's an old well over there, and they had planted some white pines. You could tell the yard where the yard was at, and that's where I caught. You wonder,
yeah,
it's where I caught that picture at. Was sitting in the new trailer, and my stepbrother, he was up there one day. He said, asked my mother, "When's that roast going to get done?" She said, "What roast?" He says, "I'm smelling a roast cooking." She said, "I ain't cooking. That's going to be the ghost." He said, "You're bullshitting me." Got up. He went, opened the oven, and put his hand in there. It was cold as ice, but he could smell we could all smell the roast. But he said, "I've been sitting here waiting for hours for that thing to get done, and it ain't there."
That's specific for a certain generation, or it's not something like an Indian burial ground. The Indians never made roast.
Yeah,
not like that.
Cornbread cooking, beans, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so it was old country cooking then.
Yeah.
What in the world? Like, that's just like, I'm trying to think of Heflin, Alabama. What would be there that maybe would spark something like that? That's just strange.
Well, back in the day, Heflin was part of the original gold mine community.
Maybe it was like a camp that was there. That's what next thing I was thinking of.
Could have been.
Like an encampment.
And
otherwise, that's just weird. Like, why would a ghost just make roast?
Now, I don't know if I can believe what my stepfather was telling me, or if he was just pulling my leg. But he said he was sitting there putting his shoes on one morning. He heard somebody say, "I'm going to hook up the mules and go to town." He looked up in the mirror, and there's this old guy, and how back in them days they had the corduroy jackets and hat and all that matched, was behind him in the mirror. And he turned around, there wasn't nobody there.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be time period for the food, I guess.
Yeah.
You must have had your trailer. Was it in the same spot each time, like in the same exact lot?
Yeah.
Man, it might have been just a residual haunt. You never know.
Like I say, I think it was probably a residual with the property, and the trailer just happened to be sitting in the right spot to catch it on all the time.
I would like to. You know if anybody still lives there in that same spot?
Yeah. There's the guy that bought it from me is actually living there.
Well, have you asked him about it? I'll be like, hey man, you smelled the beans? Hey buddy,
Well, I haven't been back
yet?
up. I haven't been back up there. That was one of them situations where he said, I bought it, you get out. That's it.
Oh, well, yeah. Burn the bridge.
Yeah.
I'd still like to know though.
Yeah.
That'd be, I'd have to at least ask him one time. Hey man, have you smelled the beans? Smell the roast?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Now, what was this? What's this smoke? I pulled the smoke picture up. The mist.
All right. With this right here, what it was, we got one of those Sony cameras that use the 3x5 disc, and they were getting old, and some of them was working, and some of them wasn't. What I would do, I'd take it, stick the disc in the camera, take a picture. If it worked, I put it in one pile. If it didn't work, I threw it in the trash. And then when I got through going through the stack, I went back and clearing out what the pictures were I took. And that one right there was one of the ones that showed up with the smoke and the guy standing there in the door.
Whoa, is a dude in the door? I just noticed that. Hang on. Where am I at here? Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, if you notice, he's got on a white shirt, like overalls.
Were you there when that picture was taken?
I was the one that took the picture.
That's one of the ones you took, so it's not like somebody was smoking a cigarette.
Right.
That's the first thing I thought when I saw it was totally cigarette smoke.
Well, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I smoke, but there wasn't no smoke in there when I took the picture. So I don't know where the smoke came from or him.
That's like a classic, what's the word? Manifestation?
Yeah.
Apparition?
Yeah. One of the two. And I guess with him appearing, he must have created the smoke too.
Turn the fan on and blow them away.
Yeah, that'd have been something.
Take it out. I get a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
And some will have like the smoke, but it's like obviously the smoke waves,
Yeah.
Like this doesn't have those lack of a better term. I mean, it had like the waves and stuff. It's just clearly a cigarette. If I can zoom in on this. Yeah, there's something in that, like a form in there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it hard enough earlier. You can see it. Wow. Like the contours.
Yeah.
At least it's not a buried baby.
Yeah, really.
That's probably the most morbid thing I've heard doing this show.
Yeah, well, it was
that's druggies for you.
Yeah.
That's what they're good for. What else are we looking at? Bigfoot pictures. Now they got the let me cut that out there. Up here just above the Tennessee line, there's a thing called the Flintville Monster. And that's not too far from where we're talking about.
Yeah.
as far as that because it's flat. I wonder if there's not some kind of population because we got all the Elk River runs, from Lynchburg, more or less, down to Decatur. Comes out in the Tennessee River. Wouldn't shock me if there's some kind of natural navigation from there to there.
There's been sightings down there at Cheehaw Mountain too.
Oh yeah, that's on the like you said, the BFRO, the Cheehaw Mountain. This is where I find out I don't know where Heflin is.
You know where
I thought
5 is on I-20?
I'm thinking of Killing. I'm thinking of Killing. Yeah, Heflin's down close to Talladega, Oxford. Okay.
Yeah. If you're in the Anniston and Oxford area and you head east towards Atlanta on 20,
it's right there on the interstate.
Yeah.
Dude, I was thinking of Killing so hard. I was thinking it was like literally 20 miles from where I'm at right now. Nope.
Well, he's seen the Black Panthers up there, but I never got no picture of them.
You saw Black Panther?
Yeah. My mother and stepfather said this, sitting there eating breakfast one morning, and one come right down the driveway, went right beside the house, down through the back.
I wonder why that they're trying to hide that so much. Like, why is it such a big? They got such a big hard on to not have sightings. Like, they try so hard.
I don't know.
Dan Moultrie and all them.
I've seen two of them, but it wasn't on our property. If I was, and my stepfather was going out to visit somebody on the other side of town there, we went down there and crossed the railroad tracks in Heflin, went following it out, and one crossed the road in front of us down there. And I was coming back from Oxford, coming up 78, down there where the sod farms are at, and there's one crossing the sod farm pasture out there.
That's close to where everybody says they see them down there in middle Alabama. Oh, there's one now. It's Black Panther now. Oh, it's thunder in there?
Yep.
Let's check the weather. It's kind of fun. I love these. I feel like I'm in a country. I feel like I'm in a country store right now. Well, who's your mama now? I guarantee you we're related.
Well, there's quite a good possibility. Although I figure you're more apt to be kin to Bob Dole, the president.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, actually, my bunch comes from my last name. My dad's name comes from Southern Indiana. It's my mom who's got all the roots in Alabama.
Well, have you got any Reynolds, Nunleys, or Loudermilks?
I thought you said rentals. I'm like, no, I don't have any rental houses.
No, rental.
No, I think we discussed if I asked if I knew the Loudermilks.
Yeah, and the Criders.
Criders, like on Justified. Boyd Crowder.
Yeah,
that's funny. You're in Anniston. I went to college at Alabama, and I used to hang out with the boy that went to. Did he go to Sax? His name is.
I was born up here at Fort McClellan. Before I was a year old, my mother and father separated, and we went to Georgia.
So were you military brat?
All over Georgia. Hush.
Put the dog on the phone. Would be the first dog I've had on here. I think the guy I knew that was from there. Well, I knew a few people. I worked with the one at Redstone. Yeah. He was a Thomas, but his last name was Pollard that I went to college with. They were lawyers, I believe. I think they were from Anniston or Oxford.
Well, the Louvren brothers. You ever heard of them?
I have. I don't know why. It sounds like wrestlers.
No, they're gospel bluegrass singers.
What were their names? Leuven?
It was Charlie and Ira Leuven.
Charlie and Ira? My visual aids. Yeah, Leuven. Okay. Literally.
Their father was John D. Loudermilk, the songwriter.
Why they look familiar? I guarantee I've heard of them. Yeah, Satan is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of these guys.
Yeah.
I saw that album cover.
That's from my stepfather's side of the family.
Oh, hey, Holly's here. He had Louis Grizzard used to write about Kathy Sue Loudermilk. His thing. Louis Grizzard was hilarious.
He was.
Hey, Holly, what's going on?
Not much. How are you guys?
Oh, pretty good. We're just over here. We're both from Alabama, so we're discussing how we're related, inevitably. I was just about to break out a beer, you know. Glad to see you came on here. Yeah, what was he saying? Okay. So Holly from you're from what's it called? Oh my god.
Maslin.
I've been trying to pronounce that for 3 months. This is Wendell. He is from Anniston. He had a couple haunted house stories, and that's a Bigfoot story. He saw a foot, a little Bigfoot foot that looked like it leapt into the woods.
Where at?
In Heflin,
Alabama, midways between Atlanta and Birmingham.
I lived up there for 40 years. Not 40 years. It felt like it, but I bought 40 acres up there, and
40 acres
with my mother and stepfather. We lived there we bought in December '89, and actually put a trailer up there in '91 and started living there. And they'd seen mountain lions, Black Panther, and
the mountain lion picture was crazy.
And
I wasn't even from there.
I was going to check my trail camera, and I found a couple of footprints and took pictures of them and posted them.
That was just a recap of the first 20 minutes there.
Yeah.
And Holly runs a Facebook page called Masselin's on Bigfoot. And I was going to show this and get her to. She told me a little bit about it. I want to get you to explain it. And because I think it's funny, and I want that costume because it is pretty. What was the story behind your? Was it your kid, your son, your daughter?
It's my son. He is 16 right now. He's been doing it for like 2 years, and he has this fascination with Bigfoot. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna get him one. And so we go around Maslin, and we've been caught in Walmart, and somebody on our page, Maslin Virtual Sounding Board, somebody made a comment about, I'm not losing my mind. I swore I seen Bigfoot in Walmart. And somebody got on and was like, you know what? I thought I was losing my mind too, because I seen one the same night as you did. So we were in there, and I posted that it was him. And he was in Maslin just checking out, the Jack Links. And so he was shopping for stuff. He'd peek around the corner. I don't know. When he's in character, oh my gosh, he is the funniest. We go to Salt Fork for the Bigfoot convention there. And he's more of an entertainment for the kids. And anybody wants to take a picture, he doesn't charge or anything. He enjoys doing it, and he just does the dumbest stuff. He'll hide behind a little tiny twig, if nobody can see him. And he's not the same as he is out. He irritates me when he's out of character. In that Bigfoot outfit, holy crap, he has me rolling. I mean, he is just so a friend of ours, this picture here, I think we was taking it when he was having pictures with Oh my gosh, it's a friend of ours. He does. It's the Christmas critter. Oh my gosh, what is his name?
Krampus the Grinch?
Campus, that's it. They were both out taking pictures together during that.
Oh man.
And we had
Krampus
high
and
school.
Bigfoot.
Yeah. So here we've got high school kids out there at the park with Krampus and Bigfoot taking pictures with them. So
why's that costume look like it costs $3,500?
This in here, I found it for $170.
I mean, that looks like an expensive, just the face alone.
Yeah, it's oh well, here we go. Hold on one second. Come here.
Oh, I knew it. Yeah, it's in Ohio. Squatching, Massillon, Ohio.
Yeah. Back in the day, it was like 1980. My mom made a comment that she said that there was supposedly police were called. A Bigfoot was found in Massillon here, and it was a big thing. It was in the papers and stuff. I had no clue. We are not a heavily wooded area at all. So,
hey, a lot of times it doesn't matter. It just has to be around water. It seems to be the only thing.
I don't even know if that area had any water in it. There's no water in that area. I mean, we have lakes and stuff like here, but it's not in the area where he was supposedly seen. So,
you never know.
He's very, very, he has his theories on it. He's fun to talk to about this. So, wait a second here. Come here. There we go.
We got live Bigfoot. We got real Bigfoot on here.
Hey, we
happening.
got Bigfoot.
It finally happened. Take that every other channel on YouTube.
There you go.
We've had him in Canal Fulton, and we've had him at Soft Fork. We've had him anywhere we go. You know what? He was to oh my gosh, Mothman, Point Pleasant, Mothman Festival.
Really? Oh man, I bet you were hit there.
Yes,
he said we found him.
He's had
It's hilarious.
Yeah. But he entertains. You'll see him walking down the street.
Well, at least I can say I was on a podcast with Bigfoot.
What is I was going to say, what's his theory on what Bigfoot is? Is it interdimensional or just a great ape we can't find?
Evolved Gigantopithecus.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. So he has looked up, studied, done everything he possibly could to research. And when I don't have a problem taking my kid out and looking. I mean, I do the drive-in, he looks, he does whatever, and it keeps him out of trouble.
Yeah, he's not going to get into anything if he's looking for Bigfoot.
Right.
Unless you just hate old white people.
Oh my gosh.
It's the most dangerous thing there is out there, just old white people. With apples and peanut butter for some reason.
Yeah, because you ain't going to find no black people out there running around the woods at night.
You know what? Joe Rogan said he had a show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything, and I actually had a guy on here that was on that show. Joe Rogan said, "You know what you don't find hunting for Bigfoot? Black people, just old white people." But
that is so
there was
true.
a lady in Colorado that does investigations. She said she's had a bunch of African Americans out there, so they usually have the best results. I'm like, well, damn.
That's because nobody can see him in the dark.
Whoa. What is happening?
I didn't mean it like that.
Ban the censors. Oh my.
That totally did not go that direction. That's not what I was talking about. Oh my God.
I mean, this is not a racist.
No, we are not. We're not racist at all. We're a very diverse area. No, I wasn't going that direction.
Obvious.
Now I know why Ohio is a purple state.
It's just stating obvious.
I'm glad you waited. I'm glad you waited a little bit later to come on for comedic effect.
I told you, I am just, yeah. No, I'm not like that at all whatsoever. That's not what I meant, though. I'm so sorry.
I'm getting now personal text messages.
Oh no!
It's hilarious. Wait, my channel's disabled. What is this? What if it was? How old is your son?
16.
Oh my God! What happened? He transformed.
Well, that's what they do. That's what Bigfoot does. It transforms.
Here's my theory. What if you actually are a Bigfoot and you can shapeshift? We don't know.
Like a skinwalker.
That explains
what if
a
you're
lot.
actually-
Yeah.
I've often thought that's why. I mean, what if if we're going to say that skinwalkers and Wendigos are real, and they just turn into giant deer for some reason, why can't like random people turn into a big monkey? Just as easy. Hey, I like the paranormal. I like the paranormal theory. Yeah, I like the paranormal theory.
When he said that,
I noticed this is the funniest moment we've ever had. I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing. Oh my gosh.
My face is hot and beat red now.
And the fact that you said it so innocently was the best part.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, you should have seen everybody's face in my house here.
Should have
Oh,
put them all on other cameras and stuff. Have everybody mic'd up like behind that show that comes on ESPN where everybody has their own camera. Oh, what is that called? I don't think X's and O show. I thought whenever I first ran up on your Facebook account,
I don't remember.
Whenever I first ran up on your Facebook account with the Bigfoot one, I was like, "That's a really short Bigfoot." I was like, "What is?" It's like I couldn't tell. I could tell it wasn't like somebody trying to be Chewbacca. It's like, is that a child?
He's actually filled out the costume.
Yeah,
as he
looks like you've grown. Looks like you've grown since.
We don't have to tie his ankles up now.
Failing twine.
It just like kind of slips down right over his shoe, but I got the biggest one, hoping that he would grow into it. So we've had a lot of people asking about. We had one company, they actually used him for advertisement in Canal Fulton.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, and we've had our experience. I mean, I wasn't a believer. I really wasn't. I just kind of was entertaining his thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, you said you had some kind of something happen.
Yeah. But I wasn't a believer. Now I'm all up for going out with him anytime he says, let's go. And so we have here in Ohio, we have a thing. It's called Minerva Monster. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I've heard of it before amongst the different cryptids.
Well, that's where we was at when we heard one. It was my mom and I were in the front of the truck, and my kids were in the back. And my son decided he wanted to go Bigfoot hunting, whatever. And so we went in the general area where it was supposedly was seen at. And so we went in this trailer park, and we're just driving around, and my mom had this face of, she looked like she was going to start gagging. And it was just this terrible smell, and didn't think anything of it. It was absolutely the worst smell I've ever smelled. And so we went ahead and we went up this huge hill, and he goes, "You got to stop." And I stopped the truck, and he was playing his phone with the sounds of Bigfoot on it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I started driving, and then I stopped again, and we hear this huge, like, it wasn't a growl. It was straight from the stomach, and it was just like this Bigfoot sound. And I told,
Like a bellow.
it's a bellow. And I says, Trevor, turn off your phone. I am sick and tired of listening to that thing. My other son goes, he doesn't have it on, Mom. It's sitting on the front. It's on the back seat of the truck here, just sitting here. My mom turned right. She looks at me, and she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, I sat there for a second, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to. I couldn't move. I was just like shocked. And it made sense with the smell and then the sound. So now I actually enjoy going out with him and looking at Salt Fork, because Salt Fork's a big hot spot here in Ohio here. So
Was it like a low rumble kind of the bellow, or was it like a scream like an elephant and a woman?
Say like in between.
it was in between that, he said. I mean, it was, I don't even know if I heard it again.
Yeah, Sierra sounds from. You can look it up on YouTube.
More Sierra,
It
was it
was-
Sierra Soundish?
It sounded deep and then it got high, didn't it? The pitch got high.
Sounded like a whale a little bit.
Yes, kind of.
Okay, I got you. You got me.
Yeah. So, and me yelling
Like
at him and
some
my
of
other
Matt
son.
Moneymaker's yells.
Yeah. Matt Moneymaker.
Yeah, like some of the yells he makes.
Were you doing the Sierra sounds when you made it happen from your app? Is that what you were playing?
He was. What was you playing?
I was playing up Sierra sounds off YouTube on a Bluetooth speaker.
He had a Bluetooth speaker on, and he had it out the window. And I'm going really slow up this hill, and I just remember yelling at him, telling him to shut it off. I got sick and tired of it. He wanted
Turn
to get
that
out
off.
and
The
bang.
battery's
on
been
trees.
dead for an hour. That's wild.
Yeah. Oh, and he's like, he's wanting to get out. It's all posted, and it is. The funny thing is that I've never seen so many private property stay off. I mean, it was just heavily saturated with these signs. And usually, when
yeah.
you go somewhere, it's no trespassing, and you might see one maybe a mile down the road or whatever. It was like every tree along and it was just you could tell that nobody wanted anybody on the property. So. But we go down there a lot. So, and we go to Salt Fork a lot and hopes to see something.
How loud was it when you heard it? Like,
It was loud. It was less than a mile. It was very loud because I thought he turned up his speaker, and I literally
It was
was
loud for how far it was, but it wasn't like loud in your ear.
yeah.
right. And yeah, I was like, these people are going to think we're, disturbing their peace or whatever with his radio on or his YouTube thing on or whatever he had on. I'm just like, oh my gosh, just turn it off. Yeah. So,
Riding around with Sierra sounds playing, you probably had a crowd coming towards you.
but to
That's
see
like
my mom's face, I've never, she turned pale white and just her mouth dropped. And I'm just like, geez, looks like she was catching flies. I was just, yeah, after that, then she wants to constantly, she's like, you want to go to Minerva? And I'm like, sure, let's go. So we all pile up in the truck and go.
I got to find out how far that away is. Can't be that far from me. Minerva, Ohio. You might have cracked the code or something. A lot of people say that the Bigfoot thing is they're real intention based and they read like your mood and what you're actually trying to do when you find them. I mean, if you're running around playing Bigfoot lightheartedly 24/7 or just even a little bit, maybe they think like they're friends, so they expose themselves, non-perversely expose themselves to you. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, what if? But probably running around playing the duck call of the Bigfoot might have helped too.
Yeah.
Minerva, Ohio.
Where are you at?
I'm in North Alabama, in
Okay.
Huntsville. I've heard people two people, one in Missouri, one in Minnesota, say they heard the Sierra sounds in their yard. The waka 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 waka.
Yeah, I don't think you were playing
That would just creep me out.
Oh, he was just playing that. It was just like started from the belly and it was deep. And then as it got up, it got higher.
Like a whale.
Like
basically.
yeah, it was like it started deep in the belly. Yes, but it was like very loud. Yeah.
That's one of Moneymaker's calls there. He always does that.
So yeah, it's and the people still live in the house that actually had the experience. The ones that made the it's not a movie. It's just a documentary. Yeah. That's all it was. And the Minerva monster. So they still live in that house. We know where it's at. Just from watching it a couple of times and figuring it out on our own. And then what's funny is that when you drive by, they have this little statue of Bigfoot on the front lawn or like by their door or whatever, and you can see it. But it's very heavily wooded down there.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, wherever we're at.
It's so it's not far from where you're at, is it, Massel, in 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah. Yep. So, and then Salt Fork, I think, is an hour from us.
Welcome to the party, last responder. You're one of us now. That's cool. Yeah. Played the Sierra Sounds and got one. Is it like in a town or just out at the outskirts where the actually happened?
It's actually on the outskirts. There's a trailer park. It's Lincoln. Is it Lincoln Way? It's Lincoln Street. It's Lincoln Street where it's on. And there's a trailer park, and then there's like an open field, and then it's the guy's house, and the kids would be out playing in the back, and it would like throw rocks back and forth to them. And I guess they found I don't want to call it a nest, but it was like bedding area that they had found in the woods. But the people in the trailer park complained about this wretched smell. So it would just complain about the smell and stuff. I don't think anybody's seen it in the trailer park, but it was always in the back of this person's house, and it's right on that street. And in fact, the road down the way is where we had, how do I want to put this? It's on the same area when we went up the street on this high hill. It's in the same area that it was, they said that this Minerva monster was seen. So it's in the general area.
How far from the house were you when it happened?
We were on the street when this happened. We were not on the street. Where was it? Oh my gosh, it's like this huge hill, and only I can barely get my truck. My truck is so wide.
Very narrow.
And it's a narrow road to the point of where I put my flashers on, turn off the truck, and there's nobody around. Like even in the house, and there's very few houses on the street. And
Bigfoot like steps as he crosses.
And I want to say it's about a half a mile from the road that we were in.
So it's in the vicinity then, like a real vicinity.
Yes. And it's in that area, and that house, it's almost like makes like a pie between where we were at, the brown house, and it made a pie. Yeah. So I still badly want to go talk to these people, though.
Well, you should. I mean, if you heard it, you're definitely, that's the thing. You got your foot in the doors now. You heard it. You can go mention it to people, and they'll like pull you behind something.
Yes, well, we might have
maybe set you up a camera out there on the side of the road and catch him.
Oh, now I'm like, I leave my phone on and do recording as he's doing his thing. And hopefully, I just want to catch it just because I don't tell anybody this at all. I don't talk about it. I don't tell anybody.
This is hilarious.
Only for the fact that I'm, people really don't. Trevor, my son, brought it up to one of my relatives, and they're like, if you're silly for believing in that kind of thing, I'm like, whatever. I just shut him down. I was like, don't talk about this. Yeah, because it was one of those things where immediately there was no, let's discuss this. What did you see? It was, you don't believe in this, do you? And I'm going, you know what? Just, yeah.
You have no idea how many people I've talked to just like that. Like, and they end up on the History Channel 6 months later. You would be shocked at, you're in Ohio, the amount of people I talk to in Illinois and Indiana that are just eat up with them. It's just like a foregone conclusion. It's like wild turkey. Like, how in the world? Like, first of all, there's nothing in Indiana and Illinois, but there's Bigfoot, bunches of them. Like, there's these societies that just like chase them down. What in the world? It's like foregone conclusion kind of thing. It makes you wonder, like, how can people be so matter of fact? Because I've never seen one. I've never even heard one holler like a humpback in the woods.
Yeah, but I was one. I didn't say there's no such thing because there's things that we have not seen yet. There's things that are. There's sometimes I think there's sometimes that we're not supposed to see things because, what would people do if they did?
Mm-hmm. And there's the. I mean, that's the whole thing with the UAPs from last year. or the year before with the UFOs. Like, why are they just spoon feeding us little pieces?
Yep.
Like, what's the end game? And I keep saying, like, if you're going to give us a Tic Tac UFO footage, give us a Bigfoot. Give us the Mount St. Helen body footage.
Yeah. But I mean, the more I like open up, if they don't seem like they're completely off from it, then I'll be like, okay, I'll tell you what we've experienced. And they're either like, or they're really, that's cool. I mean, they'll start asking more questions, and then I'm open to discussion. So,
hey, this is a friendly haven here. We'll take any and all.
So, I told my husband, I was like, you know what? If I ever see a UFO, I will not tell you because you're going to think I'm a loon. So,
Well, we several of us have seen unidentified objects in the sky.
Wait, what's happening? Is the government coming? Just heard a siren. The government's coming for us. We've gotten too close.
It's raining, so somebody out here in town probably run over somebody.
Yeah, I thought you lost power a while ago because you froze up because you've got a big storm coming toward his house.
Yeah, we got rain and thunder and lightning and all that good stuff going on.
Speaking of being open for UFOs, just know that since you were privy enough to see / hear a Bigfoot, then you probably have some kind of, you probably got like the at least the basic qualifications. Your application is on the desk to be a Bigfoot witness because you just don't hear them. No, not everybody hears them.
oh, that one was a definite. Yeah, that was.
You just need to see one.
Oh, right now we just need to see one now. I mean, not
Have
that
you
I don't believe it now, but
Have you considered gifting out there? Like, find a place where you can go without getting shot?
so
Peanut butter, apples, a toy car.
I can go into this app and I can actually pull up who owns the properties and see if I can get permission and let them know that I'm not out to hunt. I'm out to, because I'm just an enthusiast, and see what they say. That's it.
Well, that's
I'm
kind
thinking
of, yeah, that's kind of like it's a rural area. I wonder if there's any state land out there you can mess with, like management areas, hunting places.
well,
That's what a lot of people do. They end up going on a hiking trip.
To the national forest,
Yeah.
go out there, find a good clear spot.
yeah, everything so far is posted as private property, no crossing or no trespassing, or I've seen several different signs, and it's just heavily saturated with these signs. And I'm just wondering if it's just like a protection thing or whatever, not, anything. I mean, if they know that it's there and they're protecting it, I get it.
It makes you wonder, like you said, all those signs, if it's something everybody knows about.
Yes. So, but it doesn't stop my son from getting out of the truck and banging on a tree. So,
Yeah. You sit out in your backyard, and look at the sky.
we're kind of in the city, and a lot.
I saw something strange one day. Remember, I was trying to get you outside and tell you about it.
For real?
It looked like 3 dots in a triangle.
Are you fudging me?
I'm not at all.
He just confessed to seeing a triangle. What is happening right now?
I'm not fighting you at all.
Hey, Wendell saw a triangle in Georgia.
I was camping up there at Sweetwater campground on Lake Altoona, and heard this loud plane coming up, coming towards us. Looked up, it was one of those seaplanes, but in front of it was a black triangle. It was following a black triangle.
Well,
was that a legit confession of seeing a flying triangle, though? Seriously, don't tease me.
I have a family member that has never said anything to anybody until we told her about the Bigfoot thing. And once I said that I was open to other things, she goes, well, I got to tell you something. She goes, nobody else knows about this. And then I'm like, okay. And we were just sitting around and she goes, we were in Shreve and she was with another friend and they never spoke of this ever in their life, but they seen this triangle in the sky and it was so big. So yeah, it's one of those things where she wouldn't tell anybody. She didn't even tell her husband. She didn't tell it was just a relative of ours. And she's like, she never told anybody but us until we told her about the Bigfoot thing. So I thought that was very cool.
So basically your family is just all sensitive. You're just not taking advantage of it. That's what I'm hearing here. Just selfishly not experiencing these things for us.
Waiting for them to call.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting for y'all to call and let me know that I've got something going on here.
Yeah, that's I feel like the universe has placed you in our purview here.
Yes.
Because I'm kind of on the up and coming, not to toot my own horn. I've got a big 330 followers, but I'm trying to I do it like 3 days a week after work. Maybe start telling some more stories here. I'm trying to find places for you to hike in Minerva, Ohio, but it's in like 3 counties at once. How's that possible? Why is Minerva in 3 counties?
Yeah.
Stark.
Yeah.
Carroll.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's in like 3 counties at once. It's Columbia.
Yeah. Yep.
Columbiana.
And like if you go
That's
in,
okay.
let's see, East Canton is on the other side of it. That is, I guess, another hot spot. Only because I have a
Marilyn
friend.
Manson. I'm out. Not going near Marilyn Manson.
No. Well, East Canton is a hot spot in the wooded area, and it's kind of on the other side of Minerva. And so I have a friend. Him and I talk back and forth about UFO because he's had experienced UFOs and he's experienced I don't know about Bigfoot. I think he heard one or he smelt one or something like that. And he's very he's knowledgeable on things, and he's got people in certain places that confirmed UFOs. So it was just kind of like what you saw, you think you saw, it is what you saw. Just keep it on the down low is what they told him.
Yep. Well, Ohio is kind of like a dark horse for UFO folklore with Wright-Patterson being where they took all that Roswell stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where Paperclip and A-Tip was based out of. Yeah.
And I have a friend. He's a federal police officer for the VA hospital, here in Cleveland. And he went over there, and he is federal, thinking that he had a little bit more of, I can step out the blue line and won't get shot, that kind of deal. And so he stepped out on one of the lines, and lo and behold, he had,
Didn't work out, did it?
No, it didn't. Not for him. It didn't. He was like, okay. He stayed within his lines and kept his head straight, and that was it. So, yeah. I think there's things hidden there that they don't want us to know, but they're already telling us that there's aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. So, welcome, I guess.
What was that lady on top of the building in Independence Day? Welcome our new friends, and then she gets blasted.
Yes.
With a blue light.
Well, if they were smart, they'd turn around. So.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. I was just expecting some light anecdotal talk. This shit got real.
Have you ever seen any of the little bitty lights that crosses the sky that'll disappear?
I have never experienced anything like that, but we have.
I've seen satellites that disappear because of the curvature of the Earth and the sun, but nothing quickly or anything.
Well, I've had the app that's supposed to tell me when there's satellites going over, and I was seeing those little bitty lights way up there in the sky, and then they disappear, and I pull up on my phone, there wasn't a satellite nowhere near me.
Huh.
That makes sense.
We're 30 minutes from an airport, so
it'd be hard to do. There'd be all kinds of false alarms.
In our area, we've got Life Flight, a lot of the time. We've got the airport 30 minutes from here, and occasional schnook might go over.
We got
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have a lot of train. We have the Maps Museum, which is like they have the Chinook there, and they do a lot of military plane. They fly over.
Yeah, I live next to Redstone Arsenal too, where the NASA and everything is. We got the helicopters and the Huntsville International. I can't really say I saw a UFO unless I can confirm it crashed in the yard or something.
That's exactly where I'm at this point, because we live so close to. We live in the city, so Bigfoot.
You need to get that app, Flight Tracker 24.
Like this. Ain't no telling. The city is hard to see things anyway. Blocks out the light pollution. I miss living out in the sticks.
That's my next move. I do not want to be here any longer. I want to be south of here. I want to be in a heavily wooded area and left alone. Although, an occasional Bigfoot that comes in the yard, they're welcome, I guess.
Just make sure you get somewhere. And apparently, when you go camping for Bigfoot, you're supposed to get into like an area where you're lower than like a lot of the place, like inside of a bowl or a holler.
Really?
And they like to have the high ground near water. That's what I talked to a bunch of people. I need to get out and see actual other people. I need to get out and go to a bar or something. I've been talking to Bigfoot people a lot. Stuff out of my mouth. I'm like, I'm saying this. Yeah.
Yeah.
The camp where you're at a disadvantage to them, and that's how you get the signs, basically. Like Anakin. Anakin, I have the high ground.
There you go. We're gonna go camping, Trevor. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
We'll go find a place in Minerva and go camping.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you in the sky that one I told you. I was like literally trying to tell you outside. Remember the one day I was literally screaming at you?
Yes, I do remember that. Quit eating. I can't understand muffled mouth with food in it.
Remember the one lady? The one,
Yes.
she walks that dog. She said she sees something in the sky that day.
She did? That's right.
A lady saw someone in the sky?
Our neighbor lady, she said she'd seen something. We were just talking to her. She was just happened to be walking her dog, and I'm an animal person, so I went out and I was kind of visiting her dog, not her. And she ended up talking to my son about a UFO, and I just kind of overheard it. And she said it was over the same area that he had seen it. So.
Well, good Lord.
Yeah. Who knew? I did not even.
And it was dead silent. And it was like probably less than 100 feet above us.
I had no. Oh, crud. You disappeared. Hold on 1 second.
You're still there.
Okay.
Froze. It's okay. I'm about to. She left. Oh God, Bigfoot got her. She starts talking about all her UFO experiences, and all of a sudden she disappears. I think I'm about to end it when she comes. When she comes back anyway, I'm going to end it when she comes back anyway. We've had a good time. Might be enough for a round 2 with that bunch. Good Lord.
Okay.
Well, I've enjoyed it.
So you start talking about all your Bigfoot and UFO experiences, and your phone messes up. It's no coincidence. This happens all the time. You see this? This is an iPod. This is an iPhone dock or a iMac dock that broke when I had my last UFO person on. It just blew up.
Wow.
I went to a haunted house 3 weeks ago. On the way, my camera fried. Stuff is real. Like I'm like, this is not happening. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be me talking to these people for fun, not really breaking my stuff.
So you guys have had experience with ghosts and stuff then?
I haven't. I kind of just listen to stories. I'm kind of getting into it. But Wendell's had a couple little experiences.
Oh.
Yeah. I talked to people that had some crazy stuff to happen though.
Get out of here. I love you, but go away.
This is a dog theme night. Everybody's got dogs. That's why I keep my door locked over here.
Oh yeah, this is
outdoors.
Yeah, we don't. I'm in the living room, and I've got 2 dogs, a kid here, like
Try to push her away.
yammering in my ear, and yeah, so that's what's going on in our house. No, we
think
bought
that-
this. Oh, go ahead.
Kids, that'll be
That's
fun.
fine. It's mine was anecdotal. I think that y'all should purchase some like podcasting equipment. I think you should go on other shows.
I actually enjoy this. I
You
was
just
really
confessed 3 UFO sightings and a Bigfoot sighting. I mean, I was want to talk about the fire truck and the Bigfoot costume. I didn't know I was going to be talking to daggum Matthew Moneymaker over here. Daggum ancient aliens. This is kind of fun.
We think our house is haunted. So
Oh, good God. What?
What kind of experiences are you having?
So,
Oh no.
I was here by myself and I was in the bathroom using it. And I don't typically shut the door when other
I'm
people
going to mute
are
my mic and mute my camera. I'll be right. I can still hear you. Keep going.
So I went to go use the restroom, left the door open, nobody's here, and footprints. You could hear footsteps going past my bathroom door.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just creepy because, and the thing is that our neighbor guy, the one that lived here, because we bought the neighbor's house,
Yeah.
and he had a very distinct smell of him, of an older gentleman, pipe. He smoked a pipe. And
Yeah.
as the footprints went walking past the door, like I couldn't see, there was nothing there. You could just tell that something was walking, and
Yeah.
that smell went right past the door. So you're there by yourself and you're nervous because you don't know what to do. You don't say anything to anybody. We've had things disappear. My husband laid something down and it's gone. And it's just us here. The boys are gone.
Door.
Okay.
Up there at Heflin, where I was living at, we would smell cooking on a regular basis. There'd be ham, roast, cornbread, cakes, all kinds of stuff being cooked, but nobody was actually cooking. My
Huh.
stepbrother was there one day. He was sitting there. He'd been sitting there for an hour or two talking, and he said, "Asked my mother, when's that roast going to get done in there?" She says, "I'm not cooking. That's our ghost." He said, "You're full of crap." And he got up. He went and opened the oven, put his hand in there. It was cold. There wasn't nothing in there. He said, "That smells too real to not be in there cooking." I said, "Well, join the club. We smell it all the time."
I'm
Boy,
always smelling that.
That'd make me so mad.
Yeah, it did a little bit.
How about the lamp?
So we were living at my mom's house, taking care of her, and I have this lamp. It would just come on as I was coming up the steps on its own.
have to touch
So
it?
then it was a touch lamp. So I'm thinking there's something around it. So I moved everything away from it, and I walk upstairs and it comes right back on again. And I shut it off, and it did it again. Well, then I have a tendency of reading in bed, and my husband's like, "Would you shut off he's like, "Would you shut off the damn light?" And I'm like, "You know what? I'll get to it." He's like, "Kenny, shut the light off." And that's my dad. He's passed away. It shut off on its own. I was just like,
Oh.
What did he say then?
he's like, "Thanks, Kenny." And I went to sleep, and that was it.
He didn't say nothing about it getting off by itself.
No.
No, just
He was like, "Thanks, Kenny."
I talked to Richard over here too.
So yeah, it's little things. My dogs over at my mom's house would stare in this one corner
Yeah.
and just stare. Creepy stare kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of weird. So I took my mom to go see a medium one time. We don't believe in them. Well, now we do.
Now you bought
And-
right into it.
Oh my gosh. It's just one of those things where they were like, "Oh, you have this little dog running around." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it's this golden retriever running around my feet. My dog passed away, and she was a golden retriever. She was my dog. She talked about my dad, and she started singing a song that my dad sang to my mom. And she started singing it.
Really?
Yes. I never.
That's scary.
Yeah. My mom, I was the only one that knew about this song. Even my husband didn't know until I told him this story. I didn't tell anybody. And she never knew about this. It's not something we posted on Facebook. We didn't post on social media. We didn't do any of that stuff. It was kind of like a private thing that, that my dad sang to my mom. And it was a certain song that he sang. And she would say, she was very detailed on some of the things. And she would say like, oh, you have a big dog now. Well, that dog is that's your dad using the dog to interact with your mom. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything about having a dog, a big dog. And she would say how it sits there and stares. And when it's staring at my dad. And it was just like weird stuff like that. She would tell us. And she told us that my, dad was murdered and he was. She talked about the 3 R's in our family. And it was Richard, the neighbor guy, Richard, my grandfather, and Richard, my uncle. And every one of them, my uncle had passed away from an overdose. And she was like, he's coming through and he's saying he's sorry. He didn't mean for it to go this far. So little things like that. It was just, yeah.
They weren't doing any kind of cold reading or anything, just out saying it? Saying it?
Yeah. There was nothing. My mom paid for the thing, and we went in and we never really, I don't know, we just went to her office and she did this thing in her office. And then you can actually have parties. So if you had like 30 people show up at your house, your reading was for free. And she went around, she read everybody. And yeah. So she's very popular here in Ohio. So, and she does, have you ever heard of Sherry Brake? Sherry, she does haunted walks.
Oh, that one lady.
Sherry Brake, yeah. She does haunted walks, and this medium and her are kind of close friends, and they hang out together. So that's
Sherry Brake. I'll write it down.
She wrote it. She writes books.
I wonder how things would turn out if the the two of them and the lady from I Can Talk to Animals got together.
Oh.
What kind of show that would turn out to be?
Absolutely.
Did you watch that show where she was on? Wendell?
Yes, I did.
I was going to say, how did you know I talked to the animals lady on a different show? That's crazy.
I've been watching a bunch of your stuff here lately.
Wendell's a stalker. It's okay.
I am.
I need all the fans I can get.
You got me hooked.
I get some bangers for guests on here that I don't deserve. And I'm just like, okay, why are you talking to me? But I'll keep going.
Well, this is fun. So
it is fun. It's kind of a drug. I do it and I get to where I can't go to sleep. I have to take melatonin. Mostly because I kill some caffeine while I'm doing it too.
I take melatonin as well because I can't shut my mind off. I'm constantly thinking about stuff. So
yeah, Doc and Wild Trees, and that would all be fun to have all of them on at one time.
Yeah, Wild Trees. I can't get him. He is all over the place. He's trying to find himself. He was my favorite co-host. He's a biologist out of Texas. And that guy's smart as a whip. He makes me sound like a complete doofus.
Yeah.
He'd be talking to you right now. You'd be in your car right now driving to Minerva to put out peanut butter if he was on here. He'd talk you into doing something. Can you put a camera up with a peanut butter with a mirror facing it so you can see it, but they don't see it? I'm like, whoa. Making too much sense. Apparently it's been tried and it doesn't work. You can't catch Bigfoots on game cameras.
Yeah.
They can sense them.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're paranormal. I think they can clip in and out. I like to think they were.
Dimensional.
He
I think the Yetis are though. Like
he thinks that what the Yetis are interdimensional.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they can do something with.
Probably could be all of them are. They just
Yeah, I mean they.
Sponsored by Yeti.
Yeah, yeah, they're
I
our
think they
Buckies.
There you go.
I think they can really get away from
who
like
was that
the,
just popped in?
Yeah.
like if the house has been out there for so
Wait,
many
maybe
years, put a camera out there, it blends in with the electronics and everything else in the house. So they don't think anything of it.
He just brought this to me. Hold on one second. Here.
It's hard
Okay.
to see, but
Don't break it.
I'm not going to break it.
It's
Don't
gonna
break. Oh my gosh! What the? Where does that come from?
So
Get down.
there was a guy. We went to. Yeah, we went to.
You had
Shreve-
one story.
I know. I have. Yeah. So yeah, this is like the coolest thing. He actually he was the only one that actually answered questions at this it was Shreve Swamp Fest is what it was called. And it was a special speaker there on Bigfoot. Here, hon, before I break it.
I got it.
And he came in and he was asking questions and waiting for people to actually answer these questions. And my son was the only one answering them. And it was supposed to be a contest of who would get this, casting of this thing. And he ended up just giving it to him because he was getting most of the answers right. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was one of his. And so he was, do you know who the guy was? Do you remember his name?
I think he was like on Finding Bigfoot or something.
He was, on Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah. Might have been Matt Moneymaker.
So.
Or Bobo. Bobolicious.
Oh,
It wasn't Bobo.
It wasn't Bobo. That one I do know. Yeah. But he, we were there.
Sighting around here when he was talking to you guys.
Yeah. So he had like all of these different stories. He was telling you all these different sounds they make.
A lady that had a telescope or whatever and seen a really close face of a Bigfoot and drew the picture of it.
Yeah, like a sketch artist. She had all of them.
He said someone seen one like 10 or 20 feet away in person.
Yeah. And she didn't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So he had all these different stories and stuff.
4 foot wide shoulders.
So yeah, we do like our Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's my favorite subject. Is that guy? Cliff? Might have been Doug Hijack for all I know.
He was a young guy. He was a really young guy. Huh.
You never know. There's hundreds of them out there. And I don't know how everybody can be an expert if nobody has any pictures or evidence. Like, how are you an expert?
Yeah, exactly. Well, him and I want to so badly go with somebody who is supposedly experienced in this, and we want to just.
I don't know. I feel like we should just go without no electronics because I feel like they can like hear it or like.
They're sensitive to the sounds.
Yeah. So I had a plan to go because I've got some hunting land in the family, and I wanted to go up there. Not even a pocket knife, just straight up in the woods, sit down, and just kind of meditate, see if they could come out because that seems to be what you do. But then who do you tell? Like I saw 7. Why do you? Then I got scared. Like, what if I do see it? What happens then? They rip my arms off, never see me again. All of a sudden, I'm on a David Pilates special. I'm missing 411.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I think it's how you do it, though. I mean, you're already proved to be sensitive. I mean, I bet you can make something happen.
Cooking with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't wear the costume. That's the only thing I recommend.
Well, definitely.
I might get kidnapped.
That'd be the best case scenario.
What if he's an alien and he like probes me and stuff?
You want
That's
to
the
be
worst
probed?
case scenario. That's the worst case. I'd be more worried about a 30-06 than anything.
Amen.
Yes.
That'd be what I'd be worried about. Probing might be a nice alternative to getting shot with a rifle.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's what we worried about that a couple times.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to ask. I'm like, you better keep it in the urban setting.
We stay in the city with this one, so
Yeah, I'll be going to a hiking ground wearing that.
the only place like I said, we've ever been with it in the woods is down in Salt Fork. So But that's when it was during the convention. There was another guy, he had the same outfit on, but he had a sign around his neck that says pictures $5. So nobody wanted pictures with him because he had to pay. They were asking him because he was free. We had some lady chase us out to our truck before he was taking it off. Chase him down just to get a picture with him. So,
Did it 90-degree weather down there at Point Pleasant.
oh yeah, it was 90 degrees down. Yeah,
I bet.
wish we had that up here. He was beet red. But we got tons of pictures with people that had like the Mothman outfit on, and there was another one. There was Krampus down there too.
There's
So-
some other one.
Yeah, there was some other ones down there. Holy cow!
Yeah,
Have you
that
ever been
Mothman
to
gets wild.
Have you guys been to Mothman Festival?
I haven't.
No.
I've heard about it. I got somebody that came on here that's obsessed with them.
Oh my gosh, we go
I think she's
every
in
year.
Ohio. Where's she at? Ashers.
Gotta
Who
go down.
Ashley Hilt is the Ashers?
Who?
Ashley Hilt. Her name is the Ashers on YouTube and everything. And she's in
Oh.
Ohio. Yeah, she's the one that goes always go to Mothman. That's right.
Huh? There's a
She's
couple down
obsessed
there.
with Mothman.
I question.
I'm gonna laugh if she's got a picture of you on there. Look through some of the real quick. It's not there. That'd been funny. You and a Bigfoot. 'Cause she does go to Mothman a lot.
There was somebody that did made a somebody posted one of my son saying I got a picture with Bigfoot, and it was down there at that thing, but we were getting pictures of like
The huge fireplace.
well, that was at Start for that wasn't down at Mothman. Yeah, so we had actually somebody did post him on the Mothman page, and so they got a picture of him with him, and it was actually another one was another Bigfoot person. They pulled him aside and got a picture with him and posted it on their page, and he wrote a book. What is his name? He was a young guy too. So stop.
I bet if you're willing to wear that costume or those things, you'll get some attention.
Yeah, he
Can't be
wears
that
it down.
comfortable.
He wears it downtown. He'll drive in the truck.
Or running that thing.
He runs in that thing. He actually stood out here for our garage sale one time. We live right off of a main drag. In fact, it's Lincoln Way Street, and it's Lincoln Way, which goes into Minerva, but it turns into Lincoln Street instead. And he stands out on the corner. He works the corner in his Bigfoot outfit.
Don't say it like that.
That's an odd kink. Working in the corner in a Bigfoot outfit.
Oh yeah.
That's some freaky stuff.
Well,
for that.
Does he
Little
get paid
working
well?
girl.
So like we've had people stop at our garage sale just because they were like, I only stopped because of Bigfoot. So I'm like, sweet. So yeah, he'll go out there. We take him downtown. He gets in the back of the truck and we'll roll the windows down and drive real slow through town. And people are like honking at us and waving at him. And so
You tell your dog to stop making a nest.
it's fine. She'll be fine. So
It's about over anyway. I gotta go get something to eat.
that's what we were trying to scarf on. We're trying to feed. I'm like, oh man, it's 8:00 and I'm like shoving chicken wings down me.
Brought to you by Domino's.
Domino. The soggy
That's what we-
chicken wings.
Well, here they're not too bad. They were actually really good. I was shocked. I thought they were either going to be not cooked all the way or too dry. So they're really good here in Ohio, at least. So, but
I'm thinking about going to Whataburger. I know it's a little late for me, but I'm craving it. I get doing this on Sunday nights. I turn into a college kid. Start chugging energy drinks and talking about random stuff. Not even high or anything. Just thinking about back here.
You ever go down there to Gadsden to the Big Chief?
No, I heard about it. I've seen it before. Next to Gadsden State.
Yeah, I stopped in there the other day when I was coming back from getting my tooth pulled.
Yeah.
It was a pretty nice place.
So I didn't realize that I read 7 o'clock. I didn't pay attention to the central. So my son comes running. He goes, "It's 7 o'clock. We got to do the thing." And I'm like, I look on. I'm like, it's 7 o'clock central or Eastern time.
You got an hour.
So
I'll tell you what. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to say y'all get some. Y'all need to get like an actual little studio kit because this is good stuff. You could actually be like a co-host or something.
That would be fun.
This is good enough material. Just like
All
I'm glad
right,
you're not just shouting across the living room. Are you leaving, Wendell?
I enjoyed talking to both of you, and maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, it was fun. You had some good stories there.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
See ya. Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby. I don't know how you go about closing this thing down, but I guess we're closing